Good morning. I'm Frank Hugelmeyer, President of the National Marine Manufacturers Association. I'd like to thank you all for being here at the Progressive Insurance New York Boat Show. We're so happy to have all of you here to officially open our 115th show. It's the world's longest and running show and the world's first, 115 years ago. As a native New Yorker who grew up in a boating family, I'm especially honored to have a fellow boater and the governor of the great state of New York, Andrew Cuomo, here with us today. Thank you for joining us, Governor. We really appreciate you joining us to celebrate the iconic boat show, the boating industry, and our latest innovations. Since its inception, this show has welcomed more than 9 million boating enthusiasts to explore life on the water, and it continues to be a New York tradition today. Now, I spent my formative years on Long Island and in New York City, and every year my family would literally camp out on a boat for the entire summer on Fire Island. My parents had a 28-foot Seabird sport fishing boat, and where was it purchased? At the New York Boat Show. So we would dock along with my grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, entire extended family. And we had a range of boats that included a Chris Craft, Pembroke, Egg Harbor, Robalo, and a Cobia. Spending time on the water, absolutely one of my most cherished family traditions. And I'm so excited to be making those memories possible for so many others and leading our industry into its next phase of growth. Now, it's been a very positive year for boating. In 2019, we saw the second highest levels of sales in the past 12 years, selling approximately 280,000 new power boats, and the industry is expected to have another healthy year in 2020. Driving these sales is a combination of the continued strong economy and the fact that consumers are seeking out in a way to spend quality time with their family and their friends outdoors. You could say we are the pursuit of happiness business, and we're in the founding documents. In fact, Americans are showing an increased interest in getting outdoors. Outdoor recreation is a dynamic $778 billion economic engine accounting for 2.2% of the U.S. GDP, on the same par as telecommunications. And it's been growing faster than the U.S. economy. That's why 15 states have now officially recognized this economic giant by forming offices of outdoor recreation. With that growth comes the need to focus on conservation. Boaters and anglers are our country's original conservationists. We demand clean water and healthy fish populations because they're essential to our cherished pastimes. And we have skin in the game, directly funding conservation efforts across the country and including right here in New York. A state that is home to a very vibrant outdoor recreation economy itself, employing nearly 300,000 Americans. In fact, New York ranks in the top 5 states where outdoor recreation accounts for the largest percentage of the total U.S. GDP. That's because New York is one of the best places to go boating. So I'm honored to introduce someone who agrees. Governor Cuomo has been a true champion for our industry. He's always recognized the role that boating plays in the New York economy, and he is a wonderful friend to the boating businesses and partners across the state. And I want to thank you for your support in the recent budget around recreation, Governor. We're incredibly grateful for you to have his support here at the Progressive Insurance New York Boat Show as we kick off a full 5 days of boating excitement and adventures. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to the governor of the great state of New York, my home, Andrew Cuomo.
Well, thank you. It's truly my pleasure to be here, and I want to first welcome John Pritko, who's the regional manager of the National Marine Manufacturers Association, and Chris Squeary, who is a executive director and does a lot of great work here in the state with the New York Marine Trades Association. Frank Hugelmeyer, I'm excited about his leadership. I am partial to New Yorkers. Yes, I am. I admit it. It's part of the New York arrogance. We love New Yorkers. But I'm very excited about his leadership and what he's going to bring for the association. I'd also like to thank Alan Steele, who is the president of the Javits Center, who's hosting us today. Let's give them all a round of applause and thank them. As you heard, this is the first and longest running boat show in the United States of America, 115 years. First boat show was held in the old Madison Square Garden in 1905, where they turned the old Madison Square Garden into a lake, and the boats actually floated in the old Madison Square Garden. It was a New York version of an in-water boat show, you see. So Miami, they stole the idea from us. That's my story. But it's been a long tradition, and we're proud that it's going on. Personally, boating has always been a big part of my life. I've grown up boating. My family grew up boating, grew up fishing. And you go through my house, most of the family moments, most of the pictures, you'll see us in boats, because those were the great family moments. Even today, in this crazy society where you can't get people in one place, you can't get them to slow down, you can't get them to turn off the electronic devices, you put everyone on a boat for a day, or even 4, 5, 6 hours. You spend more quality time together, away from distractions, in nature. And it's some of the greatest time you can spend with one another. I still do it with my kids, who are now grown up and hard to get together, but those are still our best moments. For me personally, I want to relax. I want to get away from it. I go out with my brother Chris. We go out fishing. I'm still trying to teach him how to catch a big fish. It's been 40 years of lessons, but I'm still working at it, and I still have hope. Hope springs eternal. But it's still my way of relaxing and appreciating the world and just getting back from it a little bit. As Frank said, boaters and anglers were the first environmentalists, because they understood and appreciated the resource up close and personal. A boater knows how important clean water is. Boaters have watched the degradation of the environment. Anglers understand how important the resource is and how precious. And anglers have lived through the ups and the downs of species coming and going and getting stronger and getting weaker. So that is a very, very important force for what we're trying to get done in this state. New York is also interesting because we have every type of boating in New York. You can grow up on Long Island. You can go deep sea fishing. You can fish in bays. You can be a tourist in boating, and you can go up to Block Island, and you can go to Martha's Vineyard, and you go to the Cape. That's all part of New York boating. We also have the Hudson River, the greatest system of lakes of any state, I believe, in the United States. We also have the Great Lakes. We also have the Loop, where you can go up the Hudson River, through the Erie Canal into the Great Lakes. So any type of boating you want to do, you can do here in the state of New York. And I've enjoyed all of it, from upstate New York with our Great Lakes, the Adirondacks, and the beautiful Hudson River. You want a beautiful ride, you go from New York City up the Hudson River to where the Erie Canal starts. Some of the most beautiful geography on this planet is the Hudson River Valley. That is all here. This state is the most aggressive state in the country in preserving the environment. We just announced at the beginning of this year the Restore Mother Nature Initiative, $3 billion. Restore fisheries, clean the water, clean streams. We're building the largest artificial reef in the state's history along the coast of Long Island, bringing back a fishery, protecting us from storms, additional resiliency, That's all happening in the state of New York. As Frank mentioned, there's also big business for the state. It's an $8 billion industry in this state. Several thousand businesses are in this business. So it's also a very vital and important economic engine for us. Javits, that you see today, is hosting this show. We are also expanding this Javits Convention Center by 50%. And my hope is we now have about 350 boats. We're going to finish the expansion 2021. We'll be able to hold 500 boats. I want to make this the greatest boat show in the United States of America. And working together, we're going to do just that. Thank you, and God bless you.